I'm Michael Wisman, and I'm joined today by three dogs. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them on camera. Not right now, because I have the green screen filter going. But Lenny Wisman, per usual, is back. Daisy Wisman's here. She's right next to me. And we have a special guest today, Leia Wisman. She's in the temporary thumbnail right now. If you're catching this live, she's like the dog, the black dog that's looking at me like, that is a puppy that my wife and I adopted when she was a month old, 2 months old, and we raised her for many years. But then when we moved to the home we live in now, we didn't have a big enough yard for her because when we got her, she could fit in one palm. We didn't know what breed she was. And it turns out she's like part German Shepherd, part not Australian Shepherd, but there's like another type of dog, like maybe another type of Shepherd. Anyways, she got bigger than we expected. Hi, baby, I'm talking about you. Hi. Leia. So she was born in 2010, so she's turning 15 this year in December is Leia's birthday. So, anyways, we're visiting Leia today, and the rest of the family's out at a craft fair right now. And I just went to a craft fair last weekend, so I was like, you know what? Let me hang out with the dogs. Let me catch up on some Absolute Superman. Loving it. And share Leia with you guys. So if I'm not able to get her on camera today, I'll at least get her in the pictures or something somehow. She's a sweetheart. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even finish explaining. So the reason she's here is basically she got really big, and then when we moved, the house we live in now, we have like a front yard, a backyard, and then like a side yard on one side of our house, but not on the well. Like the other side is just kind of like dirt and rocks, and then one side is like a grass and yard stuff. So long story long, there wasn't really enough room for her. And at the time, she wasn't really like a totally indoor dog. She would be like indoor sometimes, like at night or whatever. And then most of the time, she would be outdoors doing stuff. And anyways, so we end up leaving her at grandma's house, my mom. And it ended up working out because all of my siblings grew up and moved out and are doing their stuff now. And so it's just my mom doing her own thing here for a while. But she has Leia, so she's got a big old dog to protect her and keep her company. So Leia's never lonely, and we visit her often. They don't live far from us. So my dogs are a little nervous of her because she's such a big introvert. IRL says hi. Alessios World, hi. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm gonna get into Superman in a second. I'm just talking about my dogs because I love my dogs. And so, anyways, Leia is a big, all black dog, but she acts like a puppy still, even though she's gonna be 15. So other dogs are kind of nervous of her because she kind of moves around like a puppy, but they expect her to be more aggressive because she's so energetic. But she's not. She's a giant sweetheart. Batman versus Superman. Choose one from I Am Ignite. Ooh, regular like universe. Superman. Absolute universe. I don't know yet. I've read more Absolute Batman than I have Absolute Superman, but honestly, I'm starting to like this. So probably Absolute Batman so far, and regular Superman if I had to choose. I love regular Superman. But anyways, Leia, enough about your life story. I know you're just happy to be here. All right, guys. So we're on issue 3 today, and I don't have the single issue of that. So we're switching back to volume 1, which again is Last Dust of Krypton. This is new, so you can get this at Barnes and Noble, Amazon, your comic book shop, a lot of places right now. And this is the hardcover, but they do have the soft cover paperbacks available for like $6 cheaper. Alessios World says, "Do you like DC?" I do. I really do. Um, I was off of the loop of theirs for many, many years, and I just kind of caught stuff that my friends told me about. Like Cap Lives was pretty good about keeping me not like super updated, but just tidbits about like New 52, Rebirth. I feel like there was another big thing in there, but yeah, and then once the absolute stuff came out, he was telling me a lot about that, and I wanted to jump in. It sounds awesome, and it has been awesome so far. Oh, I got I don't have it right here with me, but I got the Absolute Wonder Woman Volume 1 paperback this morning. I had to order it because my local shop was sold out of them. But yeah, so after Absolute Superman, I'm gonna be jumping into Absolute Wonder Woman next. Introvert IRL says we had a dog. He was a stray we adopted, but he passed away last year. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's awesome that you guys were able to take him in though from being a stray. That's really cool. Lenny was a stray who was brought into our local animal shelter, like the city animal shelter, because a couple found him and he was all overgrown and he something had happened to him and his head was busted open and his eyes were like coming out. Long story long, they put Lenny back together and then we found him and we're like, oh, we'll take that one. And we had to sign a bunch of paperwork saying like if the dog dies or if he goes blind or all this stuff, you can't give him back or sue us or whatever. And I'm like, no, no, no. Luckily, Lenny 100% recovered. He has like a kind of this, like if you shaved him naked, he looks like a white mini poodle. But if you shaved him naked, he has kind of like a crazy scar like this. That sometimes that can like leak. But other than that, he's perfect, and he's so awesome. I love Lenny. Especially, it was so cool when the new Superman stuff was coming out because we got Lenny. I don't know, a year before Superman came out or whatever, maybe more than that. Hi, baby. I know when I say hi, this is Leia. I know I was talking about you. Hi. Don't be jealous. So when Superman stuff was coming out, me and Lenny were stoked because we were going everywhere and being like, "Oh my gosh, crypto." You know, you jealous? All right, go on, Leia. Sit down so he doesn't start barking on stream. Um, Alessio's World says I save birds, and that he likes my shirt. Thanks, man. Oh, that's awesome. You save birds, baby. It's not true. All the dogs are starting to get jealous of each other because they all want love. All right, lay down. You're stressing everybody out. This is okay. So this is Daisy. She's running away before everybody starts growling at each other. They don't fight. They're all best friends. But they do like if one is particularly getting lovies, you know, they get a little grouchy. Here's the grouch himself. Look, you happy? You feel like the winner? Look, you can't even come up on the filter because you're like so textured. Yeah, you grouch. This is Lenny. He's half mini poodle, half chihuahua. Or like half mini poodle, chihuahua, and then like a little something else. But anyways, birds are awesome. I get scared of birds. I want to like birds, but then they're like, pet the bird. And I'm like, ugh. But my wife loves, loves, loves birds, and her mom loves birds. And they always had birds growing up. And right now, her mom has four birds. I don't know the names. Two of them are normal. Like, two are birds you would see, like, in a store and be like, okay, birds, whatever. Two of them are not normal. One is, like, this color green right here. And her name's Emmy, like, short for Emerald. And she's, like, maybe, like, this big. Like, maybe twice as big or three times as big as a regular bird. And she can, like, kind of talk and kind of do stuff. She's cool. And then she has this bird that's from Hawaii, and I forget the name of it, but this is a bird you would see like at a zoo, like San Diego level. And this bird is, if you like count its wings and everything, is bigger than Lenny, for sure. And Lenny is like a 10, 11 pound dog. Anyways, this bird, Koki, he is like red, blue, and something else. And he talks, and he is a full being with a brain and everything. And he scares the shit out of me. Like when you walk in, you hear him. Like the other birds, sometimes you hear. Dee, dee, blah, blah. They have him upstairs at my mother-in-law's house. Is a two-story house. I think it's a two-story house. Um, and when you go in, you can hear him. Rah, 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 and you say, "Hi, Koki," and he goes, "Hello, aloha." But Koki's a little cracked. Koki's a little. Hi guys, I'm talking about the bird. Yes, everyone knows. Everyone is scared of Koki except for my mother-in-law, who's the owner. Hey, buddy, stop growling on her. She just wants to be part of the hangout. So, anyways, birds are cool. Introvert IRL says, I feel like anime is taking over the entertainment industry since it became mainstream after COVID. Yeah, definitely. I saw a pigeon get crushed under a car and I'm 8. Oh, scary. You know what? That's awful. I saw something similar. I was getting an oil change, like my car. They're changing the oil at Walmart one time, and there was these two pigeons. There's a male and female, and I guess they had just been the employees at that Walmart had been taking care of them, and the lady just before me, she was reversing her car out to like leave. Somehow ran over one of the, I think it was the male bird, like just the head, like ran him over and took off, didn't care. And everybody was devastated. I had to wait like an extra 30 minutes for like the oil change because they all were like devastated and took a second to like clean him up. Not bury him, obviously, but like put him away in a box and yada yada. And then the girl bird was just like out of it. So they like took her in and were taking care of her. So birds definitely feel love and loss. Stop it, stop it. Lenny, let her live. She just wants to smell you. That growling you hear is Lenny being a grouchy old guy, even though he's the little brother. You're only 6. She's 15. Let her live. Alright. Scary. Alright. Enough out of you guys. We're getting into... Not you guys. You guys are great. I'm talking to the puppies. Enough out of you guys. I know, Leonard. I know. You need all the love. You need all the love. Look. Superman needs love too. So, this is the cover for Volume 3. If I move for a second, you can see there's Jor-El, Lara L. Is Cal right there? Hold on. Let me pull it up. I thought he was right there, but now that I'm saying it out loud to you guys, let me move. Let me see. We're on issue 3, Leonard. Let me see. Here it is. Oh no, he's not there. Okay, so I have it here. I have the cover here, and you guys can see here. So it's Jor-El, Lara L, and Crypto, but no Kal-El. Does that mean? Oh no. Does that mean that Kal-El's the only survivor? Crypto does. Does Absolute Crypto not survive? Okay, logically, I think he doesn't survive, but that's crushing. I want Absolute Crypto to survive. Also, we talked about it in the episode in the issue 2 stream. That Absolute Jor-El, the art reminds me of Hunter Prey Superman from the 90s. Cap Lives let me know that that's what the run was called, or the story. And then Lara L reminds me of someone too, but I forgot who that was. And Crypto is like a white lab in this one. He's not like a little fluffy boy like Lenny. All right, let's start. Actually, now that it takes a Whisperman forever to settle in. Krypton, 6 years ago. I said this during issue 2. First panel, issue 3. This is still so true. Young Kal-El's flashback outfits are like so good. I don't know why every time I see them, but look at this first one. If you ideally, right now, you should have your copy, whether online, digitally, on your computer, your tablet, your phone. If you could get the trade, if you could get the floppy, the single issue from your comic shop. So you don't have to necessarily rely on me holding up every single, reference here. But if you're following along, you'll be able to see right away. But right here, the first panel, young Kal-El's outfit is kind of like a Tron-esque outfit, but with no hair cap and no face shield. It's white and blue with a stripe, and he's got the crest. That's so cool. And then, it's his same outfit too later with, look at this, with Crypto. And he's got his kind of little jumpsuit style, like, outfit. Alessios World says, I wish I can have dogs. What is your phobia? Oh, I'm so sorry, buddy. Oh, there's an ant on the phone. Am I sitting in ants? I better not be sitting in ants. That would be... Let me tell you about phobias, Alessios. A new phobia of mine would be if I was sitting in ants this entire stream. That would probably fuck me up. But assuming that that's not happening right now, and it was just the one ant who's scaring me. Um, what's a phobia of mine? Something I'm scared of. I mean, an easy one would be heights. Like I could climb up on stuff and get on ladders and roofs and stuff, but like, you put me on a good balcony that's got a little wobble to it. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna feel that. Ty Star, what's your favorite run right now? Oh man, this is not gonna be the answer people are probably expecting. So I'll give you a couple answers. Overall, everything current that's still ongoing, coming out right now, One Piece. One Piece is so good. Yes, it's long. Yes, there's a lot of it. But what people misunderstand about that is they think it's like a chore. Like, oh, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to read it because there's too much. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough, it's going to be so hard to get through. But that's not what it's like at all. Oh, no, 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 no. Imagine if you just get a taste and you're like a chip that you really like. You're like, that's pretty good. And then you go back for another chip in the bag, another chip in the bag. By the time you've cleared the bag, you wish there was more chips in the bag. That's what One Piece is. One Piece is a giant bag of your favorite chips, okay? And or if you're from, I'm from America, but if you're from another country, crisps, whatever you guys call them, slice a potato real thin, cook it, season it, those things. A big bag of them. That's what One Piece is. So yeah, one chapter maybe one chip, but then, and all of a sudden, 1,165 chapters. That's the chapter coming out, I believe, this weekend is 1165. If not, it might be 1166. But almost 1,200 chapters later, 1,200 chips later, you have an industrial sized chip bag. But you get to the bottom of it, I want more chips. I had 1,165 chips, and I'm like, I'm still hungry, baby. It's that good. It's that good. So it's not like a slog to try to push through One Piece, okay? One Piece is so good. Caveat here. I read the manga, I read the book, and I hear there are differences and that the anime is a little slower, so I'm not totally sure. But the manga of One Piece is, I literally, that is a book. There, no, just kind of like right now. There's nothing else going on. I'm in real life with my dog, just chilling, and I have a piece of paper and it's One Piece, and that's the book that makes me laugh. Oh, sorry. I think my stream dipped for a second. Be back now. But so basically, TLDR, One Piece. But in terms of DC Comics, I'm not caught up on everything going on right now. So what I'm reading right now is Absolute Superman, Absolute Batman, Absolute Wonder Woman. And then I have like random Superman runs, like Superman Up in the Sky, Superman House of Brainiac, stuff like that. So my favorites of all of those so far right now is probably Absolute Batman, but that's because I haven't really gotten to Absolute Wonder Woman as much yet. I hear good things about that. So I'm looking forward to Absolute Wonder Woman a lot. And I am enjoying Superman. I'm on issue 3 now. Um, and that kind of ties back into let me go on the comments here. Introvert IRL was talking about how the anime industry took over, this kind of stuff, and that's true. Like the manga numbers are crushing these. You go to any like American Barnes and Noble, and they've rearranged the sections to be like all the graphic novel style books. These are like the tiny middle sliver, and the big like surrounding area is all manga stuff like that. All the like figures, toys, statues is all anime manga related, and like stuff like this is little and on the sides. But I don't know that that's a bad thing because I love all that stuff. Like I said, One Piece, My Hero Academia, One Punch Man, Berserk. Oh, I love Berserk. Um, all kinds of that stuff. I love it. And so, Delicious in Dungeon. That's a good one. That's a fun one. Full Metal Alchemist, Death Note. And also, I don't know if this was a direct response to that or not, but regardless, I think a little part of that we got some pushback and some kickback from the American companies, and we were able to get stuff like this because these guys are just getting decimated numbers wise. And now look, I mean, I'm here. Hopefully, you're here watching this with me, and we're into it. We're back into DC Comics. You know, do you think you'd be saying that a few? Do you think he's saying, I can't wait for the newest Superman good soon, based on the past decade, 2 decades of Superman, of like the mainstream media? Not that, because again, like a lot of stuff, Superman Up in the Sky came out in that time. So of course there's always banger comics and stuff coming out, but I just mean the overall like main pop culture iconography. Like right now it's shifting to be more like the David Cornsweet, James Gunn Superman, that type of vibe from the Man of Steel vibe, and you can see and feel it too because there's so many people who are such big fans of the Man of Steel vibe, and they're not taken to this new vibe well. Uh, I wish them well. I welcome them because I wasn't so on board with. I love Henry Cavill. He's great. Man of Steel, conceptually great. Not my favorite movies, but I get it. Um, David Cornsweet though, Superman. So, like I said, I wish them well. You guys are welcome here anytime. But Superman's back, baby. Superman's back in a big way, and it feels good. I like empathetic Superman who, you know, it takes more strength to be kind than to be just mean and strong. Like Optimus Prime, like be strong enough to be kind or be strong enough to be a leader. I forget how it goes, but like it's harder to build something than to destroy something. So just the concept of like being physically strong doesn't impress me as much as it used to. Now like being morally strong and emotionally strong and brave impresses me a lot because bravery is not like the absence of fear. It's like, you know, I don't even know if that it's the conquering of fear either. It's more like just the choice of choosing to challenge that fear in a way, or like choosing to feel your fear but not let it control your choices so you can still choose what to do and feel afraid. I like that. I don't need Superman to be fearless to show me how to be fearless because I'm never going to be fearless. I'm human. I'm a person. I'm always going to be afraid of something. So it's like I like seeing someone more who is afraid of things and figures out how do I achieve the things I want to achieve in spite of or regardless of the things that hold me back, the things that block me immediately achieving that goal. That impresses me a lot more. So I'm here for that. Also, all that being said, we're on issue 3. I don't know that this Superman is like that kind of guy yet. I mean, he seems nice. He seems like a good spirited kid. Please don't throw up, Leia. Okay, she's good. But like, all right, if someone throws up, it's probably gonna be Leia. So I hope he's good. I hope this dude's like exactly what I was describing. I don't know. I'm just talking about like David, the movie Superman, and the concept of how like, because I think mainstream comic Superman's pretty much always been like that. Um, but now, oh shush you. Great. So she's gagging, and he's over here growling at her like, "What are you doing?" She's being sick. What are you doing? Anyways, Ty Star said he's right. He wasn't expecting me to say that One Piece was my favorite current run overall. That's wild. They kept that quality up. Okay, again, I can't because we're just gonna have to. I'm gonna have to do One Piece streams. So like here, but keeping the quality up of One Piece. One Piece is a series that was in a panel 20 years ago. tying into mind-blowing stuff. So yes, good stuff. Introvert IRL says DC really needs to step it up for their next movie. The latest Superman was a disappointment. It looked fine visually, but the story felt flat and disconnected. Right, you'd get way more reach if you streamed on a set schedule. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that feedback. So I will figure out how to do that. To be honest with you, I was suffering from analysis paralysis. So like when you overthink things or try to make things like too perfect and then basically you just end up not doing anything, I suffer from like that mentality a lot. I try to not be controlled by it. So these past three streams have been when I have the time and I'm just go do it. But I really appreciate the feedback, introvert IRL. So I will try to do that this week, hopefully. So today's Saturday when I'm filming. So Monday through Friday, I can probably get something regular going because I have a regular schedule. I take care of my son during the day, and then at night I have some other responsibilities at night, but during the day, Monday through Friday. So I'm not exactly sure what hours, but sometime during the daytime, Monday through Friday, I'll try to set a regular stream. And then if I do anything on top of that, that'll just be its own stuff. So thank you for that, and I'll try it out. And as you were saying, it sounds like you're one of the people who wasn't really feeling the new Superman movie. You said it looked fine visually. Oh, okay, crazy. Leia hit the thing with her tail. Um, I'd be interested in hearing more about that. You know, like why don't you like it? I don't want to judge your opinion at all, and I don't want to challenge it or put mine up against it. Dude, this is tying in. If you saw the last stream, I'm like absolute Lois Lane right now when she's talking about the Brainiac thing. Like, I just want my opinion to be on the record, and I want your opinion to be on the record too. Um, like everybody's valid. So like, what could the new Superman do better? You know, like in Superman 2, I'm assuming they're gonna make that because they're Supergirl. So like Superman 2 is coming out, and they're listening to your feedback. What would you say for this new Superman 2 to be like for you? You know, whenever you jump back and you want to answer that. All right, issue 3. That's interesting. Kal-El saying school was always a challenge for him, so my grades were never going to be good enough to get me into the science academy. But that's implying that like it was academically challenged because I was understanding that Kal-El was just kind of socially challenged. Like everyone else is led to believe the status quo, and he is, you know, thinking differently. But maybe it's more than that. Because his parents had the grades to get into the science academy and like the I don't know social standing, whatever. They just kind of chose morally and ethically not to do that. It's not morally is probably not the right word. I guess ethically, be more specific. Aww, I was happy in the Labor Guild, happy in the Redlands. Introvert IRL says, I hope you're doing okay now. Stop. Leia, lay down. Leia saw Lenny come back and so she's sniffing his butt and he doesn't want to share. All right. You lay down. You're fine. You don't need to be the big boss. You're not Crypto. You're Lenny. All right. I love you. Chill out. Sorry about that. So, unlike you guys, can't be happy with nothing. Look at this. Young Kal-El and Absolute Crypto are having an absolute blast, and he's saying how he's happy with everything. And you are telling me you're not happy with anything. Kick rocks, bud. You know, I'm pretty sure this dog gets blown up, and he's still happy What do you think about that? I don't think you're ever gonna get blown up. If it's within my power, you will never blow up. But see that? Do you guys see this dog here? Yeah, but he's not. He's not barking at his friends. Look at, and that's not even another dog. What is that? That's some kind of Kryptonian flying lemur, like Momo from last Avatar: Last Airbender. So cute. Nice family shot, and with the dog. Yeah. Dad, mom, son, dog. Love the fits. I like too that Kal-El kind of has that attitude in this too. He's like, I was happy in the labor guild. He already has like this. So this in Absolute Superman, if this is your first issue, um, is representative of the class system on Krypton before it destroyed. And this is like the lowest class. This is the working class. You are the janitor. You are the handyman. You're the server. And but Kal-El's like, my family makes this, reminds me that also means you're a hard worker, you're reliable, you're dependable, you make the world a better place. Things run because of you. So I love that he already has pride in that at so young. And I forgot, did they confirm his age yet? I think I said last issue I wanted to get that, but I still haven't, I don't think. Or I just keep missing it, sorry. Introvert IRL says Superman came off more like a symbol than an actual person you could connect with. The emotional moments didn't land because everything felt too forced. It's like they focused on making it look epic instead of building a story that meant something. By the end, it just felt hollow. I'm still comparing it to the Batman versus Superman. Okay, so are you talking about like all that stuff you said? Are you talking about the Henry Cavill Superman or the David Superman? Because in my experience, that's how I felt about the Henry movies. Not him as a person or actor, but just those movies felt exactly like that. That in Man of Steel and all that, it was about the iconography and like almost like religious to an extent of like, look at this, we should aspire to be this, blah 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 blah. Whereas this new movie is more personable. But I also understand if that wasn't the case, it was the opposite. Oh, I'm still Henry, yes. Okay. Oh, then it sounds like we're on the same page. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Look, see how thick that is. Thank you for taking the time to get all the way through that. Okay, so we're on the same page. Yeah, the Henry Cavill stuff was. I agree. It was very iconic, but not in not in the good way. Whereas this new one is all personable. So although I am a sucker, I like the DC CW stuff when they did the Infinite Crisis stuff and they had all the crossovers. So if they ever bring Henry Cavill back as Superman, yeah, yes, like oh my gosh, I'm totally spacing on his name. Cap Lives would know his name. The actor that played Superman in Superman and Lois, the live action show where it's like Superman and Lois are married and they have the two sons. That dude is so good. That show is so good too. I forgot to mention that as like a good Superman thing. Um, Bring that guy back in anything too, like a multiversal thing. David Superman has to go get Henry and that guy. And round two, yes, all of them together. And we met Brandon Routh so that he could get a Superman signature for his dad because his dad's a really big fan of Superman. And I just went to say hi. So I'm a fan of all his stuff, Adam, Superman, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. He was the vegan boyfriend. So even just meeting him, talking to him, shaking his hand, everything, Brandon Routh went from like, oh yeah, he's a pretty cool Superman. I like him on the show. As like a human, that dude is awesome. He is so nice, so genuine and authentic, and I'm learning that like matters a lot to me. Go figure. But he was like a real guy, not some big celebrity, not just there for the money, not just there to punch numbers or self-inflate his ego. He was really like he really gave a shit, and he cared that other people gave a shit. And it was really cool. He was super, super nice. And I don't, let me rephrase that. He was very nice and he was kind because people can be very nice to you and not be very kind to you. And people cannot be very nice to you but be kind to you. Brandon Routh was very nice and very kind to everyone that he met that I saw. So I like him a lot now. Go figure. But honestly, yeah, I don't think Henry Cavill was the problem. I think Zack Snyder's vision for the whole thing and just the tone they took was so. If you've ever heard grimdark, if not, look up the term. It's a whole thing. Like Warhammer 40K is very like grim dark. I feel like the Zack Snyder DC verse was very grim dark just for the sake of it. Like, I'm fucking Batman. I'm fucking Superman. I'm the best. You need to be like me. And I was like, yes, Superman. I'm so sorry, Superman. You're the best. Whatever you say, please. That's how I felt. And the new Superman, I'm like, hey, Superman. Like, I feel like he'd be walking by and I'd be like, hey, Superman. He'd be like, hey. Like, hey. But, no, it's just me, Leia. I did stop. I was just high fiving myself. It's because she's me high fiving myself. Alright, I gotta stop being too silly. Whoa! Check this out. So this is on Krypton. This is a flashback. But look, it's kind of like Fortress of Solitude, but like, what if in red? But this isn't like. This is in the purple prairies and rolling pink hills of the Kryptonian countryside. Wait, is this their home? Oh, maybe this is their home on Krypton. No, that can't be right because in one of the previous issues we saw them. Oh, they want to talk to their son, and he's like, "What is it? Oh, it's this is it." I'm like, no, we had a message from your teacher. And he's like, "Oh no." Get a little crypto, big crypto actually. There's a big dog in here, Leia sized, but thicker. Cal, you understand that when you do that, as in uh, writing your own reports, you are challenging 3,000 years of Kryptonian tradition. What a concept! Like thinking for yourself and writing your own essay, you're challenging 3,000 years of our culture. First of all, okay, hold on. Before I say anything, let me read because this is going to come full circle. I don't want to. Here we go. I can't help it. My words make me happy. Theirs are just words. Ooh. Affecting your grades and getting into trouble at school. And your mother and I, we've talked about this a lot. When it comes right down to it, we really have just one thing to say to you, Cal. Keep it up. Oh, and they're rustling his hair. Look at that. Okay, see, I was gonna. Oh, that's my drink. Got a little drink. They're good parents. Aww. Shush. Shush before you make me act like a bad parent. Just kidding. I don't care what your grades say. You're the sharpest, most caring kid in the whole world. We trust you to find your own path. We can't tell you it'll be an easy road, going against the ways of the Science League. You know it won't. But you have to chase your passion in life, Kal-El, wherever it leads you. Do that with all your heart, at all costs, and I promise you, you'll be unstoppable. I don't know what I want to do, but whatever it is, I already know where it'll lead me. Right here. That's good writing. Okay, Jason Aaron. Okay, I smell you cooking. Cause they're having this big old moment, juicing them up, right? And he's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter what I do, because everything I do will be, for my family, for my home." But then you look closely, again, zoom in on your copy at home. Uh, they know Krypton's doomed. He doesn't know yet. So when he's like, "Oh, it's all gonna be great, right?" Da, 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 and they're like, "Fuck." Introvert IRL says, "I feel they messed up the Superman costume. I know that's how it's supposed to be, but it kind of felt cartoonish." Where are you from? Are you multi-streaming, e.g., Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, etc.? I'm from California, and no, I'm not multi-streaming because I don't know how to do that. But I do have a TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I don't have a Twitch. I don't think. I have a friend who streams on Twitch pretty regularly, Going Geek. He does a lot of video game stuff and a lot of like Pokemon stuff. He's cool. So if you're on Twitch, you should check out Going Geek. But I do have TikTok and Instagram and stuff. But I post like shorts or sometimes like maybe a clip from these streams on there. If I find something silly. There's so from when we were reading issue 2, there's a funny bit I posted today that was about uh, it's dumb, but the colorist Ulises Arreola. I found out he's from Guadalajara. He does have an Instagram, and when he's not working at DC, guess what he does, guys? He colors Spawn comics. This dude is so cool. So, anyways, I made a dumb joke about his last name being Arreola, like nipples, but like in good spirit, not poking fun at him. Hold on, Daisy, I gotta move my leg. Oh, I'm like falling asleep there. Hey, baby. Introvert IRL says, "I love Pokemon. Anime to be specific, since there's no good game after Black and White." Oh man, I played. I got the newest game. It's not great. I have Legend ZA, and yeah, it's not the best. But I did like Violet, and I liked Legends Arceus. Sword and Shield are okay. But if you do like Black and White and like older style Pokemon games, I have something really cool to tell you about. Poke MMO, like POKEMMO, is an online version, and it's Pokemon generations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all together, all at the same time. And it's not just your sprite; it's like whoever's logged on, whoever's playing. It's like kind of like World of Warcraft or a game like that, where you log onto the server and then you're there, but each region is its own like actual region, and they created a ferry npc that can ferry you between the regions, and when you ferry to a different region, the graphics adapt to whatever that is. So like you can go to Black and White and it'll be black and white, but you can take all your same stuff and go to like Emerald, like Hoenn, but it's like the Emerald version of Hoenn. Each region is like the most updated of those. So like Hoenn is Emerald. Johto is Heart Gold Soul Silver. Kanto is Fire Red Leaf Green. But it's all interconnected. You can chat with people. You can join teams like guilds. I'm not sure what they're called again. They have holiday events. The Halloween event is so good for PokeMMO. So if you like stuff like that, try it out. And you can do it on your phone, tablet, computer. I highly recommend it. Me and Going Geek did used to play that together until we basically like cleared most of it, and then yeah, that was it. The Rao Mountains. This is where they are. Okay, so this red Fortress of Solitude is the Rao Mountains. Yo, my father spent a lot of time taking samples from deep within the mountains. And at night, I could have sworn I heard my parents sobbing. After our trip to the Rows. Cool. So the Row Mountains. Ooh, this is Jor-El talking about like his findings of like Krypton. How is Krypton doing right now? The proof I've gathered, it's irrefutable. And what's going to happen? It could be months from now, or it could be days. Woo! Ooh, what? Um, I haven't figured this out yet, but so Kal-El's kind of eavesdropping on his parents. He hasn't figured out exactly what's going on, but he's kind of piecing it together. By the way, the artwork on that, like, look at this second to last panel right here. Of again, look at your copy at home to get a closer look. But Kal-El peeking through the door, that's so good. But anyways, the reason I'm gasping and awing over here is Crypto's barking, and Kal-El's like, "What is it? You know, what's going on, Crypto?" And so he goes to follow him, and they see animals that are like dead and rotting and have like that kind of this like gas looking stuff on them. It's kind of spooky vibe. Introvert IRL said, "I checked it. I'll try it." Nice. Good luck. Growing up under the brutal red sun of Krypton, there was always danger. Tornadoes full of diamonds, rain that burned. I thought we established before that these guys could control the weather. So what do you mean? What do you mean growing up under rain that burned? I'm from the 90s, okay? I remember acid rain. So what do you mean, Kal-El? Sinkholes that could swallow entire towns without children to come out. Ooh, gross. Crypto, where'd I leave my bike? Ah, you see that, Lenny? Kal-El talks to Crypto the way I talk to you. Actually, perfect example. I'm not wearing my glasses today because this morning when we were leaving the house, I could not find where I set them down. And I kept saying that to Lenny. I was like, "Lenny, I don't know why I even hired you. I can't find my glasses anywhere." We're the same. Just don't blow up, dude. Because most DC comics are kind of gore and spooky little art style. Lens? Are you asking what lens like I'm using right now to film? 'Cause I'm just using my phone right now. I do have a Canon DSLR. It's a Rebel T5, I think, or T6, T5 or T6. And but that one just has the lens it came with, like the zoom. Um, yeah, just the standard zoom one. But right now I'm just on my phone. I have a I don't even know what I have. I got this phone in 2020, but still good. Samsung something, Android something maybe. Yo, crypto's fast. Cal's on like a hover bike. I'm trying to think of a movie because I know there's movies that have hover bikes like this where it's just kind of like think like a motorcycle but no wheels and like you're almost just hovering on the engine like brrr, and crypto is running full speed like right along with them. Well, across the Redlands, farmers' crops were dying. Herds of zerts were seen stampeding themselves off cliffs. Ew. Well, the volcanoes of old, which had spewed gold for thousands of years, were covered with golden scabs. Whoa! Pearl divers along the Dandahu coast were said to be floating to the surface, boiled alive. Ooh, we got a good line. This is a cold line. Jason Aaron, issue 3, coming with the lines, man. If something was sick inside the planet, it would make sense that the first people to feel the pain would be the ones with their hands in the dirt. Ooh! True, true. Also, Crypto with the safety gear. Crypto would survive COVID. Introvert IRL asks, "Where do you buy your comics?" By the way, um, well, recently, I talked a lot about it, but basically now, I have a novel and two. Sorry about that. Excuse me. One of them is a full comic book shop, and one of them's like there used to be a full comic book shop, and now it's more like a game hobby shop and collectible shop, which is awesome. I love it. It's called Line, but the comic book shop is called HD Comics or Comic Cult HD. I'm not sure what like the official one is, but if you look on my social media, there's a picture of it somewhere. It's me holding the Absolute Comics. So I got a couple single issues from there, and then this I got at Barnes and Noble. And the Wonder Woman trade I just had to order on Amazon because I tried to get it and both of the places were out of them. What made you start streaming? Ooh, good question. Um, to be honest with you, I liked like at night when I was working on stuff, or that's like a good example. A bad example would be like if I was dealing with, something health related that wasn't too good. Sometimes like think like, if you're ever like I wasn't in a hospital per se, but like if you've ever been in a hospital and you want to get out and you want to do stuff, but like your capacity to care about so many things starts to be very limited, and then you start to find comfort things. So like doom scrolling goes from just being something you do to being like a comfort and to distract you from whatever you have going on. So I liked listening to stream stuff and I liked like audiobooks, but then I found like I like reading this stuff more than the audiobook most of the time. So I was trying to find streams where people were like reading with you, but not reading to you. And there is stuff out there, but some of them was like a girl who was like she had a great production value. I forgot the channel name, but she would like clock, like, okay, we're gonna read this book. Here's the timer, and in 40 minutes, we'll talk. And so that was cool, but that was like a book club kind of vibe. Like you really had to be like, you had to have your book, you had to be ready to go. And I wanted something more chill than that. And then I was wondering, like, do people ever like just chill with their dogs? Because I chill with my dogs a lot. Like, honestly, Lenny is kind of like my personal service animal. Daisy's not. She's just a dog. She tries her best though, and Leia is just a dog. But Lenny actually does like some services for me and helps me out and keeps me uh, functional sometimes. But he like I'm not just talking like emotional support. I'm saying like he like actually does like shit that helps me out. Um Anyways, I was wondering if people like ever like hang out with their dogs, and like they do, but I was trying to find like people who read to their dogs or with their dogs, and all I kept finding was like news stories of, and this is great. I support this 100%, but of like kids programs of local libraries or schools or shelters where like kids classes of kids learning to read go to animal shelters for dogs who have nothing better to do than sit in the kennel all day, and the kids sit and they practice reading the stories to the dogs, so it's a win-win. And I was like, what's something kind of like that, but you know. So this is my attempt. What you're watching right now is my third attempt at something where you can hang out with someone. Hopefully, I'm approachable. Hang out with some puppies. I know they're not always on the camera. Maybe I could do something to help that. Maybe set up a different camera thing too, so you guys can see them. Um, Sorry, I lost my train of thought. You'll find that happens to me sometimes. And oh, like I said, I hope I'm approachable. I hope you like the pups. I love them. And like I said, ideally, if you guys had your level of adherence, but if you want to read along with me, or if you just want to hear me talk about the comic and you want to talk with me, talk about stuff that's related to this. Because that's another thing too. I like so many things. If you're here earlier in the stream, you heard me going off on One Piece. I love so many things that sometimes it's actually easier if I do something like this for me to talk about or focus on something. So like I want to talk about Superman related stuff. So this is a good example and a good time for me to do that. And I don't have to worry about like talking about everything else per se. That's not to say people can't ask anything. Ask me whatever you want. Sure. But I'll answer at my discretion. But that's why, I guess, what made me start streaming this. I mean, I've tried other streams in the past for various reasons, like behind the scenes, how to do photography, how to build diorama stuff, just hanging out, talking about everything. So this is a new thing. I like reading a lot. I love comic books. I love manga. I love my dogs. And I just wanted to reach out into the world and see if you guys like it too. And if anybody does, then we can hang out and have a good time together. Some other channels I like, they're not to say they're doing content exactly like this per se, but channels that are real people doing comic book content that are chill are like Casually Comics and Emma Fung. Oh God, I hope I'm saying that right. But Emma something, young girl in college, collects mostly DC like Nightwing comics. Anyway, she has a TikTok and a YouTube, and she's awesome. She mostly talks about like new comic book day stuff, and then like runs that she's reading and runs she's gonna read. But I found that I started to like content a lot. I started to like that type of content a lot. So I just wanted to try it out for myself, but not in the same way. Like I don't want to just do inventory or like talk about buying stuff because that kind of turned me off a little bit from like some of my other hobbies. Was some of them went from talking to friends about like your passions and like what would be cool, what's fun, what do you like about this, and everything just devolved into a shopping list. Like, what did you buy? What are you going to buy? What do you want to buy? And that has its place. And same thing for comics. Like I bought volume 1 of Superman. I'm going to buy volume 1 of Batman. I want to buy volume 2 of Batman if it comes out, if and when it comes out. It's up for pre-order right now, but you get the idea. So my point is like there is a place for that, but when that becomes everything, there's not enough room left for the stuff that I care the most about. So, kiss. Keep it simple, sexy. So we're here keeping it simple, doing what we love. Why? Because we love it and we want to have a good time with other people. We're not here forever, and the short time that we're here for isn't always guaranteed to feel good. So, oh, there's a quote actually. My wife found this hand stitched quote at a thrift shop years ago. We still have it in the house. It says something like, I'm not here for a long time. I'm only passing through. So if there's any good I can do right now as I'm going. Let me do it now because I'm never going to come back this way again. And if I don't do it now, I may regret it or I may not get another chance to do that same good later. So basically, it's not about saying like be like Superman and, throw yourself a million directions to everybody, but more so like, hey, you got one life. It goes one direction at one speed. Make the most of it. Have some fun. Do some good, you know? And I like that. That message makes me feel good. Does that make sense? Introvert IRL says, had fun chatting. It's nearly morning. Heading to bed. See you next stream. Nice. Thanks, man. I really appreciate you joining. Yeah, if you liked it, check out the rest of it when it loads. I'm finding that these streams end up taking kind of like half a day to process. So this will be available, the whole stream will be available on YouTube, but it'll probably be like, and once the stream ends, it'll probably be half a day to a day before the full video is back up and available. But they're doing okay. Natural gas leaks, they said. Isolated problem. What? A week after I went camping in the mountains, my class took the train to Candor for a field trip. Along the way, I started to put it all into writing, everything I'd seen across the Redlands. The words flowed out of me almost as fast as I could type them. Before I could think to stop myself, I'd submitted my story to the school's news board. Okay, so what's crazy about that is not necessarily what Kellell's saying there, but as he's saying this on the train, they're going by another like set of trains, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but presumably some natural disaster led to like a whole bunch of trains derailing and crashing. And here we have like, I don't even know if these are medical like drones or if it's just like recovery drones, but basically they have these people, of course, the lowest class people like me. Um, I don't even know if they're dead yet, but they have the green, the nastiness on them, right? And they're pulling these bodies out of the wreckage. That's crazy. Sorry for my knee. Gotta stretch my leg every so often. I'm sitting between three dogs right now. What? By the time we reached Candor, the story had been removed from the board. Oh, by the way, look at Candor real quick. It kind of looks like the Rao Mountains just refined. And we saw that the Rao Mountains are not doing good, so Candor probably doesn't have long, which ties into this. By the time we reached Candor, the story had been removed from the board, all notes deleted remotely from my tablet, and an appointment set for my parents to see the school administrator. We'd never make it to that meeting. Welcome to the halls of high wisdom, children. The kid outfits on Absolute Krypton are so cool. The, this may seem like a weird comparison, but if you like figures and stuff, uh, weirdly enough, I think the Hasbro Star Wars Black Team would make some pretty decent figures of just these kids, just random absolute Kryptonian kids. It's never gonna happen. But if I had, dream, genie, wish, uh, have that team make these figures. I One of the reasons I say that is because I got a lot of the what's that show? Skeleton Crew figures from Ross not too long ago, and those actually are They're not the best, but they're not the worst either. Ooh. Kal-El sees his dad, Jor-El, getting dragged off by not exactly sure. These are like security or military or police. I do notice though there's some because they have like a different set of armor here, but I do notice their symbol is kind of like Zod, like the um Z obviously, but what's the word I'm trying to think? It's very sharp, like angular, not as swoopy as the S. More rigid, more rigid. That's what I was thinking. Oh no, look at Jor-El's getting roughed up too. If you look closely, his emblem is even like split, like he's been every which way, you know. I was helpless. I watched and wept as they dragged my father away. Oh, after that, there was only one thing I could do. And hard cut to him running home to mom and crypto. And he's saying, Mom! Oh, go tell your mom and crypto. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. Okay. Absolute Superman gets his fuego from his mom. All right. Listen to me carefully, Cal. I want you with me for this. But if anything goes wrong, you get on your bike and you come back here as fast as you can, and you go straight into the garage and call for Soul, okay? Okay? Who's Soul? Hello, I am Soul. How can I be of service? And then she cuts him off. What are you gonna do, Mom? I'm gonna get your dad back. Dude, check out Laura L. Oh my gosh, actually, this is this not his, is this Soul? This is Soul, right? Dude, she's so cool right here. Okay, absolute Laura L's hot. Confirmed. Look at the gun with the super suit with the Ulises Arreola coloring, the pop. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. She's so badass. I was gonna say something silly and say, I hope my wife would do that for me, but that's foolish because I know my wife would do that for me, right, babe? I made a fool of myself at a town hall, threatening all the mayor and everybody, and I was being dragged away. The first thing you do is suit up and bring a gun, right, babe? That's a joke. That's a joke. Not true, not real. Oh my gosh. I love this. So Lara L shows up with the soul suit. Crypto goes with Lara. Crypto has the sunstone dust cape. Look at absolute Crypto with the cape, the sunstone dust from Soul. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I'm gonna have to see if I can get that like as like a picture. One assailant and her dog. Gun appears to fire some sort of projectile that it's lava. Her gun shoots lava. Get this armor off of me. What? And her dog, that's so funny. Lethal injection. And they shoot out like spike balls. Whoa. Okay. So much is ramping up here. This is so cool. We get Crypto zooming and taking out one of the guys, and Jor-El seeing Crypto with the Sunstone Dust Cape. Oh my gosh, yes. And then, so those spiky lethal injection balls are trying to kill um, Lara, but she takes them out, and we get to see that the soul suit can even more envelop than what we've seen so far. So look, it can even envelop your whole face like a helmet or a mask. That's crazy. I wonder if, because we know that Superman has his own powers on Earth, and that, look at this shot. Do you guys think, could this lead to absolute steel? It may be absolute steel being someone gets soul, or like a human makes a human version of soul. Because look at that. Imagine that, but instead of the gun, you get like an energy hammer. Oh, dude, she's so fucking cool. And the way it peels back too, like a flower or like a demogorgon, or like lava too receding. Jor-El says, guess the suit works. Also, how cool that he looks like Superman, right? But she's the Superwoman right here. Hi, Daisy B. Hi, baby. Wanna say hi? Hi, Daisy. If you're just joining or you haven't seen any of my streams before, this is Daisy. She's a Chihuahua Terrier. She has one spot on her face, and I did not name her Daisy. She came with the name, but if we would have named her, her mama said a good name would have been Domino. I'll say, hell yeah, I want to see Domino. But now she's little Daisy. Kal-El goes up to one of the guards who's like cooking in his suit. Hey, tell me your login code and I'll ask my mom not to shoot you anymore. Savage. Ooh. My mother was marching through the central law offices of Kandor, blasting away. The place should have been swarming with shock troops and judge generals. Why wasn't it? Where were the ruling classes of Krypton? Starships! Oh my gosh. So, long story short, TLDR, Kal-El figures out the whole plan without his parents expressly having to tell him. And they're all going to try to get off Krypton together. By the way, look at this shot. Makes me think of the Tamashii Nation smoke effects, or the even better, the Pancheezy, what did he call them? Smokies? Little Smokies? Or smoke effects? I forgot what Pancho calls them, but the Pancheezy smoke effects makes me think of that. But yeah, Kal-El and the whole family are getting off. So this is crazy. Oh, what? Okay. So Soul, they have like a giant spaceship thing, and Soul like reabsorbed into it. So is this whole thing like Soul technology? Because that would be insane. I think that's what that is, but I don't know. Uh, the whole world right now is in a panic because all of Krypton now knows that the planet's doomed. And it's because as they were leaving, Kal-El uploaded that stuff he found to the Luminarium, their collective AI knowledge thing. So now that knowledge is distributed around the world. Oh no. I think this is the final page. Central Kansas now. It's a Smallville senior living home, and there's a old lady patient, a senior lady in her bed, kind of like reaching out, like kind of out of it. And the nurses are talking in the hall about how she keeps asking for her son, but records show that she never had any children. And the lady saying, "Angel, where did you go? Fly back to me, my sweet angel boy, back to where you belong." And on her medical bracelet it says M. Kent, like Martha Kent. So maybe he did meet them. Ooh. Absolute Superman, Last Dust of Krypton, Part 3, Boy from the Purple Prairie. That was good. That was good. And yep, just confirming here, Ulises Arreola, still the colorist. Wow, Boy from the Purple Prairie. That's awesome. Okay, so this is really ramping up. So the first issue, second issue, okay. Third issue, all right, we're getting somewhere. Also, the art started off good, and it just keeps getting better. This is so cool. Look at even like all their faces on this page, all the elves. I love that. And then that shot earlier in the issue where they have the expressions of like, oh no, my poor boy. Dope. So here's a little tease. There's the cover for issue 4. So I like it. Let me know what you guys think. And this stream will be available later on YouTube. How much later? That depends on YouTube. Sometimes it's half a day, sometimes it's a full day. And in the meantime, I hope you guys have a good one. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you guys so much for reading along with me if you chose to. I'm really liking this story. I'm really excited now. The puppies, they're kind of into it. They just like hearing me talk about it right now. But I hope you guys are having a good one. And this book gave me so much to think about today. I'm excited for issue 4. I can't wait to see you guys for issue 4. All right, bye. I'll see you guys later.